Yo, what is good, YouTube? It is your boy James, and today I'm coming at you with another episode of the Previewing and Predicting series. And today, I'm going to be talking about a team that I'm really high on. They worry me as a Clippers fan, and that is the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, the last 2 years, I felt really bad for Denver Nuggets fans because you've got something going, and you just haven't been able to keep your two guys on the floor in MPJ and Jamal Murray, while Jokic just does everything. So, yeah, I feel bad for y'all. But this year, you all should be healthy. So hopefully, we see some more healthy people out on the floor. But yeah, let's get right into the Nuggets, man, because I'm very high on them. Excuse me. Um, and they made a couple moves this offseason. And it was pretty much bringing in their two shooting guards, and that's Bruce Brown's a small forward, but bringing in two new guards. The main one being the KCP trade. They lost Will Barton and Monte Morris, which definitely sucks, but I love the KCP trade, and we'll talk about it more when we get there. But at the starting point guard, it's Jamal Murray. I'm hoping for his healthy recovery. I would be surprised if he's not ready for day one, just because he's been out for a long time. Um, but I know ACLs are tricky. But yeah, Jamal Murray is a stud, man, and he plays off of Jokic really well. I feel like some people have kind of forgotten about Jamal Murray, which is honestly fair. I mean, he's been hurt. But I think Jamal Murray is going to be great. I think he's going to be that number two. Um, I really like Jamal Murray next to Jokic. I'm at the two, it's KCP, and when they were talking about something last year, they didn't feel like they had their shooting guard. Um, they brought back Will Barton, but he was their three, and then they brought in Aaron Gordon and kind of just pushed him to the two. But I think bringing in KCP is honestly like just really good. I don't want to overhype a trade for a guy who's a high end role player, but KCP fits here perfectly. He can be a defender. He can be um, a spot up shooter. He showed a little other capability on offense, but that's not what he's going to be. But I think KCP in between Jamal Murray and MPJ, especially for giving up Will Barton and Monte Morris, was almost the perfect fit, and I mean that. I think that was a great trade. So yeah, I think he's literally, for who was on the market, the perfect two. And they also brought in another guy who I think would have fit there really well. He's on their bench. MPJ. Um, there's mixed emotions about MPJ, and it's the same for me. Backs are tricky, and that was the reason he fell in the draft. You just paid him, but I think as a number three, you're good. I think he'll be good there. He might disappoint a little bit, but I think he'll be good. He'll fit that three well. Aaron Gordon, I was talking about it last night with someone, the perfect four next to Giannis. I mean that. The cutting ability, I mean not Giannis next to Jokic. The cutting ability, excuse me, the overall defense. Like him and KCP, I think fit these three guys of Murray, MPJ, and Jokic really well. And I was really high on that trade when it happened. So I love Aaron Gordon next to Jokic, especially on the cuts. His overall defense, that kind of can help out Jokic a little bit. Um, and then the center, not much to talk about. It's Nicole Yokitch, in my opinion, the best center in the league. Stop playing with him. One of the better playmaking centers of all time already, if not the best. I don't think he is yet, but he's up. He's gonna probably be that by the end of his career. Back-to-back MVP. Not much else to say. Coming off the bench, it's a unit that is interesting, right? I think it's got some potential, but it's also just kind of meh. But I've got Bones Highland. I know a lot of people like Compazzo, but I think you get the young guy out there. He played pretty well for you in spurts last year. Let Highland go. I think he can be a six-man type guy. I think that's kind of what his projection was coming into the draft when he was picked like 22. Which is, hey, this guy's going to score. This guy's going to score, but he just needs to do it consistently, polish his game a little bit, and I think he can do that. So Bones Highland off the bench is the one. I like it. Another guy they brought in, Bruce Brown. I like Bruce Brown. Plays hard. He's a little. His play style is just kind of weird to me. He's one of those guys that just really makes a living off playing hard, hustling, knowing where to be. But I like it, and they didn't get him for much, right? They paid him a pretty cheap contract. So I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really know how to fit in this backup three. Like it could be switched, but or they could do like composite with the two if they want to be weird. But Devon Reed, I honestly don't know a lot about, but I watched just a little bit to see if I should put him in, and he looks fine. But I mean, they should maybe look at adding another wing. Jeff Green, a signing I liked a lot last year. Good for them. He's done it for his whole career. He's done it for so many teams. Um, Jeff Green is solid. Then I'm not. I didn't even put DeAndre Jordan's name in red because really, um, I've been wanting to be a DeAndre truther and like want him to be good, but he just isn't at this point in his career. He just doesn't do much. Um, excuse me. And he was one of the first guys to get signed. I know he's a minimum, so it's just like I don't know. But overall projection for this team, I really like them. I think injuries are obviously a concern, but I think they're going to be like seeding wise, like the 2 seed. Um, now, when it comes to my power rankings for them, I still have them 3. I think it's a really good team, but I look at the Warriors and the Clippers and say, I don't think they're there yet. But they definitely could be, right? And they could go beat either of those teams, and I wouldn't be surprised. But for me right now, they're in that 3 range. I don't think anyone's as good as them. And I think you can make an argument for me that they're better than the Warriors or Clippers. I just personally don't. But yeah, I think they're going to be, honestly, probably the 1 seed in the West. I think they're going to win a high 50 games. And I really like this team. So probably a Western Conference Finals team. And like I said, I think they beat anyone that's not Warriors Clippers, and they could. So I'd say second round exit, Western Conference Finals. If you tell me you think they're winning the West, I wouldn't hate you for it, but I'm not there yet. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna try to start uploading more. I've just been busy, tired from everything I've been doing. So yeah. Other than that, quick plug, second channel down below. Been playing 2K. I'm gonna start playing Park soon. Um, and my Twitter. Don't tweet often, but I'm in spaces a lot. So if you guys did enjoy, shout out my Nuggets fans. And yeah, we'll keep digging in on the series. Thank y'all for the support it's been getting.